Okay, so can we start with your name and the age of your child?
My name is Tony Perez, and my daughter is 13.
So are there any guidelines your child has to follow, like rules or something?
No, not really. What I try to do is inflict good values, try to make them understand right from wrong, and I'm pretty confident that we've instilled that in them.
Mm-hmm. So what's your experience with your child in middle school?
It's good. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is she's at the age where boys are starting to be adventurous, which with a little girl, it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's pleasant overall.
Okay, so do you feel like rewarding good behavior is more effective than punishing bad behavior?
Not really. I think positive and negative, I guess, you have to do both, but not in extreme ways. Mm-hmm. You have to kind of have an equal balance in order to make sure that they understand. If you're only rewarding for certain things and there's no consequence, I don't think that's appropriate. So I think there has to be an even balance.
So would you do anything different?
No. If I seen that she was out of line or she was going a different path, then I would consider doing something different. But considering where she's at and her values and her beliefs and the path that she's taking, I think we're right on the money as far as her attitude.
What's your name and how long have you been teaching?
My name is Joseph George. I've been teaching here at Sierra Vista 17 years. Mostly the students behave pretty well, and if they don't, I just give them a warning and they usually straighten up. Only things I give consequences for are students who are tardy, if they're tardy to class, and students not having their supplies, like not having a pen or pencil.
Is there any unusual behaviors that stand out with certain students?
Yeah, unusual behaviors. Mostly, well, it's 8th grade, so a lot of their behavior is pretty unusual because they're middle schoolers.
They're still growing up.
But yeah, sometimes kids behave. I have a student this year who likes to get up out of his seat and just kind of like stand next to it for a while. And I guess it's not too weird because, you know, maybe he gets tired of sitting, so I just let him do it. Other times he took off his shoe and was like looking at it and smelling it and stuff. I thought that was kind of weird, but I just let him do his thing, you know.
Do you feel like when you reward good behavior, it is more effective than punishing bad behavior, or
that's a great question. I feel like both are essential, but I think sometimes you get more mileage out of praising good behavior than punishing bad behavior. Yeah. Sometimes kids who are kind of bad, I'll like overpraise them, which kind of either freaks them out or maybe makes them straighten up. It's almost like you're getting attention. Yeah, some students like that, but you know, some teachers say it's bad to shame a student, shame a kid.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I mean, sometimes people need to be shamed and be ashamed of the behavior. That's true for me too. But I think a lot of times, if you praise a kid, you know, it's like parents who tell their kids that they're dumb. Well, their kids are going to grow up to be dumb. But if you're a parent and you tell your kid that they're beautiful or they're handsome or they're smart, they're going to rise to that challenge generally because they'll believe it's true.
Exactly. Have you seen children's behaviors change over the years of teaching, like your first year of teaching compared to now?
Yeah, I think mainly they're the same. I think nowadays, in some ways, kids actually behave better now than they did when I first started. But at the same, like they're more respectful and less like violence and stuff. There used to be lots of fights here, but very little of that. But on the other side, students seem like it's a lot harder for them to concentrate now. Like they're more easily distracted. I don't know if that's because of like video games or what, but it seems to be true.
Yeah. Okay, can you tell us the strangest thing you've seen with your students?
Wow, that is a really good question. The strangest thing I've actually seen. Seems
like you've seen a lot of strange things.
I've seen a lot of strange things, but boy, the strangest thing. Well, I had a kid my first year I taught was very hyperactive, and he was just like always getting in trouble and always like shaking. One time he literally fell out of his chair. He was like shaking so much. And he wasn't like he had cerebral palsy or anything. He just was like
Just like
Yeah, he wasn't a
excited.
bad kid. He was just kind of like, but you know, students always amused me, especially I was driving home from work and I saw this kid I had in my class. He's a very big kid, but as he was walking down the street, he was kind of like doing. He didn't even have an iPod. He was just kind of like doing this dance down the street, like. And I said, "Wow, you're enjoying life." And he said, "Yes." So that happened.
Oh, that's funny.
Mhm.
Okay, is there any reason why you chose middle school students to teach other than like high school and
Yeah,
anything above?
that's a really good question. When I started out, I really wanted to teach high school. And I did my student teaching at Pomona High School. I took the job here at middle school only because it was the first job offered to me, and frankly, I didn't plan on being here. But I think I like middle school students because, like, I think maybe I make a bigger difference for middle school kids, you know? Although maybe I like to teach high school too. Someday I think I'd like to teach high school too. But I don't know, like, students are kind of like adults when you guys are like almost adults now, so it's different. I don't think I could give you as hard of a time. You might take a swing at me or something, who knows?
Okay, has your teaching style changed over the years?
Yeah, I think I've tried a lot of different teaching styles. I think when I first started out, I tried to be like Mr. Cool Guy teacher, you know, letting students like chew gum or do whatever they want. And then that didn't work out too well, so I overcompensated. I became Hitler teacher. I was making kids cry in class, boys. I always try to make one boy cry the first week of school, and then I thought all the kids would behave after that. That's kind of mean. So now I just try to be myself more. So that's kind of what I've come to.
Yeah. And just one more question.
Sure.
Have you do you have like more patience or less patience when it comes to like troublemakers?
Yeah, I think the actual truth is I have a lot more patience because you've seen everything. And I think that I'm older, I understand the reason why students do bad things sometimes is because their lives are hell, or maybe they have like misery in their own lives. And I think they're treating me disrespectfully, but then I'll see them with their parents and I realize they're twice as bad as their own parents.
Yeah.
So I'm more patient, but sometimes I have to fake like I'm more angry than I really am, just to control the environment. Like, so some kid will do something bad and I kind of want to laugh, or like I don't really care, but I have to act like I care a little bit just to restore the environment of like order, you know what I mean? Yeah, I have to fake it kind of, so it's a lot of acting happening.